Toyota has revamped the Corolla Cross small hybrid SUV with a new look, some adjustments to what's on offer, and some additional tech and spec across the range. So in this review, I'm going to tell you why I think that the Corolla Cross small SUV is one of the best on the market, what it could do better, and the best alternatives to it too. So let's check it out, shall we? Thanks for subscribing. It means a lot. Let's go. The updated Corolla Cross sees some changes when it comes to the exterior design and also some changes to what's on offer in terms of the model lineup. So there is a new flagship model, we'll get to that in a sec, but there have been some adjustments in terms of what's on offer and what you get for your money. Now, the range kicks off at the entry level with the GX. It's only available with front wheel drive and it's the most basic version available. It is very much aimed at fleets. It's the sort of car you'll pick up from the airport when you go somewhere and you get a rental, but it does still have a decent amount of standard tech and spec. And sorry about these pictures, they are just screen grabs. That's all I could get from Toyota. So it gets 17-inch alloy wheels, LED headlights, halogen daytime running lights, keyless entry and start, an 8-inch touchscreen media system with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, digital radio, a 7-inch digital instrument display, a reversing camera, connected services, and also fabric seat upholstery, manually adjustable front seats, a plastic steering wheel, but you do get power folding heated side mirrors even on that base grade. Up from there is the GXL. It's the one that most people will typically fall to because it is pretty well specified. It does cost a few extra bucks, but it is available with front wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive model adds $3,000 to the price tag, and it gets a few extra features, including LED daytime running lights and fog lights. You've got rear privacy glass, roof rails, a 10.5-inch touchscreen media system with built-in sat-nav. You get leather accented and fabric upholstery, a leather wrapped steering wheel, auto dimming rear vision mirror, dual zone climate control, and a tyre repair kit in the all-wheel drive model. The front wheel drive retains a space saver spare. Up from there is the Atmos. Now that's the one I've got right here, and it is pretty well specified for the cash, but it is getting a bit pricey. Now it starts at about $48,000 for the front wheel drive one, which is this one here, or 51 grand for the all-wheel drive, and that's before on-road costs. So if you go to the Toyota website, you'll be able to see what it's going to cost you to drive away in one of these cars. But yeah, it is a little bit more money. So it comes with things like ventilated front seats, it gets 18-inch alloy wheels, an optional two-tone black roof, a panoramic sunroof, hands-free electric tailgate, a 9-speaker JBL sound system, 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. It also gets full leather accented upholstery, a heated steering wheel, and an 8-way power adjustable driver's seat. And then at the top of the range is the flagship GR Sport model. Now, it looks sportier and it has some sportier driving dynamics according to Toyota, including lowered suspension and a different steering tune, and it obviously gets different looks as well, but it doesn't get a different powertrain. I'll tell you all about the powertrain shortly, but that GR Sport model also gets the GR Sport body kit, and a suede-like synthetic leather upholstery with red contrast stitching and GR logos. And it's the same price as the top spec Atmos all-wheel drive, about $51,000 plus on-road costs. So you've got a couple of options when it comes to spending lots of money on your Corolla Cross, but what if you want to think about spending less money? Well, I've got some cheaper alternatives. So you want a Japanese small SUV, and this one maybe isn't doing it for you. Well, you could go and have a look at the Nissan Qashqai. It starts at around $34,000 before on-road costs. You might get a better deal than that because they are trying to sell those things. And it is a very well designed and thoughtful and comfortable small SUV. There's two different powertrains on option. There's two different powertrains on offer. There's a turbo petrol and also a petrol electric version, which doesn't actually have a plug. It's kind of like a hybrid like this, but maybe not as efficient as this. And it's still a pretty interesting option, but it's a comfy car and very nice to drive. Another great option if you're thinking about a fun car to drive is the Volkswagen T-Roc. It starts at around $38,000 and it is maybe showing its age a little bit, but it is a fun and well-mannered and enjoyable vehicle to live with. It has a great interior space, it's got good practicality, and it's pretty small too, so that might make it even more appealing for you. And finally, another option ex-Japan is the Honda ZR-V. Now, the Honda ZR-V is a bit of a strange one. It doesn't really get as much attention as it deserves because it doesn't really look like the other Hondas in the lineup, I think. But it does have a very nice interior. It's comfortable, it's practical, it has a hybrid version available. Otherwise, there's turbo petrol models, and all of them are pretty fun to drive. So it could be a great option if you're thinking about something like this. But what would you do? Have your say in the comments. So there have been some exterior design changes to the Corolla Cross. Look at this Atmos version gets this really interesting light bar that runs across the width of the front of the vehicle, and it's got redesigned headlight inlays as well. Obviously a redesigned grille finish. It's still a bit beaky compared to some other small SUVs. As you can see, there's a long distance between where the front wheel is and where the front of the car is, but let's have a look at the dimensions. It is still a pretty small SUV. I'll put them on your screen now, and you can see for yourself it is decently proportioned, and well, it's in the sweet spot when it comes to small SUVs. Now, I'll put the ground clearance on your screen as well, and it is pretty decent. And all models can tow, but the maximum towing capacity, no matter whether it's unbraked or braked, is 750 kilos. Now, I like this car in a lot of ways. One thing that it could do better is that it has keyless entry for the front doors, but not the rear doors. And if you're a parent, you will be maybe a little bit annoyed by that. Another thing that might annoy you as a parent is that the doors don't open very wide. So if you are trying to get in there with a kid that's squirming, it can be difficult. Now, let's have a look at the rear end design. It's seen some changes too. I think it looks pretty tidy, pretty smart, but maybe a little bit conservative for some. Right, now let's have a look in the boot. It's got an electric tailgate, this version, and it's pretty quick to open. I just wish it didn't beep all the time. Now, let's have a look here. This space is pretty practical, I have to say. You've got some pretty good features, including little bag hooks, as you can see, a little tray on the side there. On this side, you've got the JBL speaker. Oh, there's leaves filling the back of the car, and you've also got another hook there, a light, got a cargo cover, and underneath the boot floor, because this is a front wheel drive version, you get a spare. But if you choose one of the all-wheel drive models, well, that's a consideration, because you don't get a spare if you choose an all-wheel drive. And you also get a smaller boot. So I'll show you the details that you need to know in terms of the cargo capacities. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you're choosing the front wheel drive one, you're probably getting a more practical car. Okay, let's have a look at the interior, and I mean, it's very much like it was, and that's okay because it's still a practical and thoughtful and well-considered cabin. So this is the Atmos grade, so it gets things like this bigger digital instrument cluster here, which is a pretty nice piece of equipment. It does have a bit of adjustment to it, so you can cycle through different displays if you want to, and I mean, that's good to see. And then you've got a 10.5-inch touchscreen media system. It's, well, it's one of those ones that sort of pokes up like a tablet off the display, off the dashboard there, and I know there are some people who hate that, but it is a pretty good system. I mean, it's not the best, but you do still have buttons here for your volume controls and a power button if you want to turn it off. And if you want to go back to the Toyota screen, you can just hit Toyota, and it does have built-in sat-nav in this grade as well because it's got this bigger screen. In the base model, you don't get sat-nav, you get a smaller screen. But yeah, you can see it's got sat-nav, and it's got Bluetooth and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can go in here and have a look at some things on your trip screen, see what's been going on with your driving. I've been better than that recently, but we'll get to that later. And also it's got online notifications, so it can download things for you and give you notifications, and that means it's also got connected services, including an SOS call button up there, as you can see. Yeah, sort of a bit glary, but it's there. So if you need help, you can call for it, but you do need to subscribe to it after the first 12 months. So yeah, that's a bit of a cheeky thing, I think. Now, I don't necessarily love this software more generally. I think it's a little bit unfinished feeling in some ways, but I do think that you will get used to how it all works. It's reasonably easy to get your head around, and if you're just the sort of person who gets in and uses Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, well, you'll be happy. It's only had one fault during my time. It just took about 10 seconds to figure out that it was connecting. So that's good. Now you've got a climate control system down here. Thankfully it is, well, a separate system. It's not on the screen. So you've got the controls you would expect, fan controls, temperature dials with dual zone in this grade, and there's this little one here. So that's rear demister and also mirror demisters, which is great for those dewy mornings. And I think that this whole area is pretty well considered. Now down here, there's a wireless phone charger and a second mat there that you can just sort of rest a phone if you want to. You've got some buttons here, including an EV mode button, so you can dictate that you'd like the car to go into EV mode. It'll tell you if it can or can't. You've got a drive mode selector there. So up here, you'll see if I press that, I can change between power, eco, and normal modes. So yeah, that's cool. And down there, there's also an auto park button and a camera view button. So you can have a look at what's happening around the car if you want to see what's going on. And it's a pretty good camera system, I've got to say. You can also see it when you put it into reverse. Just let me show you. You've got a pretty good system. And yep, it's handy. It's good. And it will also switch on the front camera if you're driving up to something, which is really quite handy, because if it senses that you're close to something, well, it's going to warn you before you hit it. Now, you've got an electronic park brake auto hold, so if you don't want it to creep forward in traffic, that's how you use that button. And you've got heated and ventilated seats now in the Atmos grade, which is good to see. There's a big pair of cup holders there. They don't have those little clamps on the side though, so your cup might move around, and they're like a really hard plastic as well. So yeah, if you've got a grippy cup, it might be fine, but one of those regular takeaway coffee cups might be a bit of an issue. There's a small center console bin in here with a 12-volt port. And over here, you might notice just how big this part of the dashboard is. If you're a big passenger occupant, you might find that this is not a very comfy place because this seat is quite high. You can't lower the seat down, and that is quite intrusive into your knee area. But there is a reasonable sized glove box. There's good sized bottle holders in the doors, soft plastics. And I do think that it feels pretty good. The dark headliner, I'm not that hot on, but thankfully this one does come with this big 2-pane glass roof. You can't actually open the roof, but you can open the shade, which is handy, and it's a good shade, but it makes it very dark if it's closed. And here you've got illuminated vanity mirrors. These visors don't adjust, so that's maybe a bit of an issue. And you've got a grab handle for the driver. Love that. Now, I think this is all pretty easy to get your head around. Steering wheel controls are all pretty simple too, and your stalks are the right way around. So you've got lights and blinkers on the right, wipers on the left. Down here, you'll also see you've got a steering wheel heating button and auto light button as well. And you've got an electronic boot control switch there too. So yeah, I think this is a very smart and simple but effective space. So let's check out the back seat and see what the space is like there. Okay, this seat is set for my driving position. I'm about 6 foot tall and I've got enough knee room here to be pretty comfortable. Lots and lots of foot room as well. Headroom is maybe a little bit tight for taller occupants. So if you have people with long torsos especially, they might find it a little bit cramped. Nice big glass roof though does add a little bit of ambience in the back here because it's quite dark otherwise. You've got grab handles overhead. You've also got little hooks here. There is a light, as you can see, just back there. And on the seat backs, there's no map pocket on this side, but there is one on that side. You've got directional air vents. As you can see, there's a USB-C charging bay down there, and you've got some cup holders in the doors with these grab handles and soft elbow pads, which is nice. And as you can see also, I've got my daughter's car seat in here. So it does have ISOFIX points in the window seats and 3 top tethers as well. It's got a flip down armrest with some cup holders too. So it's certainly ticking all the boxes when it comes to the stuff that you need and the stuff that you'll want. And I think it's a pretty well considered space in the back and in the front. Under the bonnet of the Corolla Cross is a 2-litre 4-cylinder non-turbocharged petrol engine which puts out 112 kilowatts and 188 newton meters, but it's teamed up to an electric motor or electric motors depending on which version you pick, and there's a CVT automatic transmission with front wheel drive or all-wheel drive. If you choose the all-wheel drive one, you get a rear electric motor. Now, no matter whether you choose front or all-wheel drive, you're getting a maximum combined power output of 146 kilowatts. And Toyota doesn't claim any specific number when it comes to combined torque. But let me show you, this is a pretty zesty little thing. Let's go for a drive. I could make it this simple. This car is great to drive. You could skip to the next section if you want to see how efficient it is, but this is just a really great small SUV to drive. It doesn't really do too much wrong, in fact. There's one or two things, we'll get to them shortly, but let me tell you about this powertrain first and foremost. A 2-litre non-turbo petrol engine with electrification as part of the equation, of course, because it's a hybrid, or HEV as Toyota now calls it. And it is a really excellent powertrain. It's just super responsive, it's refined, it's relatively quiet, can be a little bit noisy at times, but it's maybe just noisy because otherwise it can run in full electric mode and then it'll be, well, actually silent. So it's pretty impressive, this powertrain. There's no doubt that it's got enough grunt. Like, it does get up and move when you need it to. It's really quite responsive, and the way that it shifts between EV or petrol or a combination is really impressive. It's the class benchmark. Like, Toyota's been doing this for a long time and they get it right all the time, pretty much. This is a really impressive powertrain. It's super easy to take away from a standstill. It's quick to respond, it's zippy, and the driving dynamics are the other thing. Like, this is more fun than pretty much any other small SUV in the segment that isn't a performance small SUV. It's just super easy to drive, it's nimble feeling, the steering is excellently responsive, it just has this great weighting and this great feel as well. And the ride comfort, well, I haven't been able to fault it really. It is just super impressive. It's excellent to drive and really easy to live with because none of the safety stuff annoys you in this car. It's got a speed sign recognition system, but it won't chime at you, and it doesn't have a driver monitoring camera, so it won't piss you off in that regard either. When it comes to braking, you've got regen braking as standard, but there's also a B mode. So if you put it down into B, it will do higher level regen braking. It's not like a single pedal driving mode, but it does have a bit more engine braking noise, so you will hear the engine revving harder to try and feed some energy back to the battery pack. Thankfully, no matter which mode you're in, the brake pedal feel is pretty responsive. It's easy to see around as well, and the camera system is excellent when you need it too. There are a couple of little things though. So it is quite loud on rough surfaced roads. So if you drive on a coarse chip freeway at 110 k's an hour, it's going to be very, very loud. And in fact, this particular car has a rattle. And it's maybe not the most refined characteristic to have a rattle in a brand new car. It's this little buzzing sound that happens occasionally. So yeah, that's probably the only things that I can criticize about the drive experience in this car, because otherwise it's excellent. All right, what about the fuel consumption? Okay, it's a Toyota hybrid, so let's talk efficiency numbers. On your screen, there's going to be a couple of numbers coming up, including the front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive Corolla Cross official figures, excluding the GR Sport, which I'll put on your screen now, because it does have a slightly higher number because of the tyres that it has. So that is something that you might want to keep in mind. I mean, it's 0.1 of a litre, who cares? But if you're wondering what I've seen over my time in this car, doing what you'll be doing, highway, freeway, urban stop-start, errand running, that sort of stuff, family duties, it's just super duper efficient. The number that you'll see on screen, I was absolutely blown away that this car with this much practicality, comfort and thoughtfulness can be that efficient. It's just super impressive. It runs on 91 RON regular unleaded as well, and the fuel tank capacity is pretty generous, so you should be able to get a long distance between refills. The Toyota Corolla Cross achieved the maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating in 2022, and that applies to this updated version, even though there is some extra safety tech added to this model. So it now has a low-speed pedestrian warning system, so that's a sound that it plays outside the car to warn people that you're around. And there's also a new auto braking system across the entire range, which will basically stop for people or objects when it's doing low speeds, either in drive or in reverse. So that is a nice little bit of tech. And there's also plenty of other stuff: autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist detection. There's lane keeping assistance, and it's not annoying. There's blind spot monitoring and recross traffic alert. You've also got a speed sign recognition system, which doesn't chime at you, which is great, and it gets it right most of the time. Beyond that, there's a reversing camera as standard on the base grade. If you step up to the GXL or above, you get a surround view camera system, and parking sensors all around the car is standard too. And for airbags, there are 8: dual front, front side, a driver's knee airbag, a front center airbag, and curtain coverage for all window seat occupants. In Australia, Toyota offers a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and you're also getting up to 7 years of powertrain warranty if you maintain your vehicle on time. It doesn't have to be serviced with Toyota, just so long as it meets the logbook requirements. Now, beyond that, you can get up to 10 years of battery warranty for the hybrid system if you do service with Toyota, because they'll do a health check every time you go back for maintenance. Now, speaking of the maintenance, the intervals are every 12 months and 15,000 kilometers. And just like lots of other Toyotas, it does seem pretty well priced when it comes to the service costs. I'll put the average service price for the first 5 services on your screen now. And beyond that, you have to pay extra for roadside assistance. The brand doesn't throw in roadside assist like so many others do, but I mean, Toyotas are pretty reliable, aren't they? So maybe you won't need it. If you're looking for a hybrid small SUV and you can afford to buy this one, well, I think you should, because this is excellent. It's lovely to drive, it's powerful enough, it's super duper fuel efficient, and well packaged as well. What do you think about it? Would you choose a Corolla Cross? Is it worth the money? Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you when I see you.